All right, it's my favorite time of the year. Well, it's my wife's favorite time of the year. It's time to set your New Year's resolutions. And the question has to be, do these ever work? And the answer is kind of. About 8% or 10% of the time, people are able to keep their resolutions for at least 6 months, which doesn't sound good, but it's much better than any typical goal setting or habit changing initiatives, which typically are, have a 1% or a 2% success rate. Now, there are 4 things you can do to increase your chances of success. The first is set goals that are specific and reasonable. The specific piece is important because it helps you keep yourself accountable. Don't just say, I'm gonna eat healthier this year. Say specifically, I'm gonna remove soda from my diet, or specifically, I'm gonna make sure that I consume protein 3 times a week. And the reasonable piece is important because it helps you stay focused and engaged in the goal. If you say, I'm going to work out 7 times a week for the entire year, then it's really easy to go, this is too hard, I can't do it, and then you just give up on the goal entirely. Instead, say, I'm gonna work out 3 times a week. And if 4 months in, you go, this is really easy, then it's fine for you to scale up on that goal. But start small, make sure that the goal is achievable. And second, you want to be very intentional about linking your new behaviors with old habits and patterns of behavior. So if you think about your day, you engage in hundreds of habitual behaviors. Every day I get up, I make coffee, I let the dog out, I make breakfast for my kids, right? It's the same thing every single day. If I add a new behavior in the mix, it's not that I'm just adding something, it's not that I'm just forcing myself to do one thing differently. I'm really disrupting a whole chain of behaviors, which is part of the reason why it's so difficult to add in or integrate a new, daily activity. So what I can do to help myself is to be very intentional about linking it as part of a chain of behaviors. So for example, if it's working out every day, if I tell myself, I'm going to work out after I drop my kids off at daycare, every single day I go to daycare and then directly to the gym, that's much easier on the system than if I say, I'm going to find some time during my day to work out. It could be in the morning, it could be in the afternoon, maybe even the evenings, because if I sporadically do it, every day I am disrupting a new system and I'm preventing myself from creating a new clear chain of behaviors. And third, don't be all or nothing about your goal. Something like 80% of people that set New Year's resolutions give up on them within 1 week. It's because they make an error and they go, well, I guess it's off. I didn't make my goal. Moving on, I'm just going to engage in my old behaviors, right? If you make a mistake, get up the next day and get back at it. And number 4 is find some way to hold yourself accountable. That could be telling family or friends, using a program like Stick.com, social media. I don't care what it is. You need to tie your success with some kind of negative or positive outcome. The reality is anxiety drives change. So I'll give you an extreme example. If I told you I was going to take $1 million out of your bank account, or I'm going to put you in debt for $1 million if you don't go to the gym every day for the next year, would you go? Of course, right? Because there would be distress if you didn't make it. The same is true if I told you I was going to give you $1 million if you made it to the gym every day for the next year. Of course you would go, right? You want that money. So when you start a New Year's resolution, set up an accountability system that will punish you if you fail and reward you if you're successful. So if done correctly, New Year's resolutions can be helpful. But I think there's a better strategy. At the end of every year, audit your performance over the last year. Think about the different spheres of your life that are important. Maybe that's relationships with your family, maybe it's your romantic relationships, maybe it's your performance at work, your health, whatever it is. Think about those different spheres and audit your own behavior. And then try and figure out what you can do better to perform in those specific areas that maybe are lagging. So here's the tricky part. You have to figure out what it is about you or your environment that's making it difficult for you to be fully successful in a given sphere. So for example, if I audit my year and I go, you know what, I didn't eat healthy over the last year. I need to figure out what's going on that makes it difficult for me to eat healthy. Maybe I'm eating poorly because I'm depressed, I don't feel good about myself, and eating is the easiest way to cope. It feels good when I eat, and temporarily it makes me feel better. Maybe I eat poorly because my friends overeat, and when I'm around my friends, I just want to engage in that relationship, and I don't want to be the odd man out. It could be that I'm eating poorly just because I want to reward myself for for positive performances elsewhere in my life, and I'm doing that too frequently. Or maybe I eat poorly because I just don't have the energy to be intentional and pick better foods every day. So whatever it is, focus on the cause of that poor performance for the next year. Don't focus on the outcome. Don't say, I want to have a six-pack. Say, I need to address whatever it is that's preventing me from meeting that goal. That should be your focus for the next 12 months. I hope that's helpful. Have a great new year.